Welcome to my views and news. Another video for you. Three news stories. Firstly, Oromo Liberation Army has freed more than 100 prisoners in Nakamte. OLA fighters entered in the main city of East Wellega, Nakamte today. It has been formally confirmed by OLA about its entry in Nakamte. Secondly, PM Abiy has arrived in Egypt, where a conference on UN conference on climate change is going to be organized. And thirdly, viewers, while status of Raya and Wolkait will be determined in talks held maybe after a month if disarmament is completed smoothly. Who will remain in charge of Raya and Wolkait? While final decision is made. Will Amhara forces remain deployed to Raya and Wolkait? We have some details for you. Firstly, viewers, OLA fighters, Oromo Liberation Army fighters today entered Nakamte city in East Wellega. In a previous video, we shared this news with you. Now it has been formally confirmed. OLA spokesperson has confirmed in a message about Oromo Liberation Army's entry in Nakamte. And OLA spokesperson said that more than 100, around 120 political prisoners had been freed by OLA fighters in Nakamte. The prisoners were at Kumsa Maroda Palace, from where they were freed by members of Oromo Liberation Army. No statement from the government about these prisoners who have been released by Oromo Liberation Army. The OLA spokesperson said that the purpose of this attack was to stop government forces from organizing in East Wellega. OLA has taken control of most parts of West Wellega. And from West Wellega, government forces were retreating towards East Wellega, and they were trying to regroup, reorganize in East Wellega for new offensives towards West Wellega. That is why this attack on East Wellega was launched. Nakamte is in East Wellega, and OLA claims that some military installations in Nakamte have also been destroyed by OLA fighters. Government should clarify who are the released prisoners. Were they OLA members or some other prisoners? We saw that in Gambela as well. In Gambela, in West Wellega, as a few days ago, a few weeks ago rather, OLA fighters entered and they freed prisoners. OLA always says that the freed people are political prisoners. Government remains silent. Are the freed prisoners members of Oromo Liberation Army? Are they political prisoners? Are they members of political parties like OFC, OLF? And this OLA's entry in a major city of East Wellega is evidence, is a piece of evidence that government's security apparatus has failed to stop OLA in West Oromia. In Western Oromia, in East Wellega, West Wellega, Kalam, OLA can free prisoners. In Gambela as well, we saw. 2 days ago, some pro-government sources said that OLA robbed 3 banks as well in a town which came under OLA control a few days ago. So, in Western Oromia, in West, East and Kalam, Wellega, Oromo Liberation Army is operating very freely. And from here, obviously, OLA will move towards the central Oromia, West Shiva, where already it has some bases, but if it sweeps across Wellega, so from this stronghold, it will definitely move towards Shiva. Meanwhile, Wellega to BG road still cut off. Around 5 days ago, we reported that OLA fighters cut off the road. Gimbi, Sosa road. It is still cut off, not open for traffic. Networks are down as well in the area. Mobile networks down, no internet. And government is largely silent about OLA's activities in Western Oromia. Secondly, viewers, PM Abiy has arrived in Egypt. Pictures were shared by Ethiopian state media today showing PM Abiy's arrival in Egypt. CC did not receive him directly at the airport because dozens of world leaders are arriving in Egypt, where a UN sponsored climate change conference is about to be held. So dozens of world leaders are arriving there. That is why CC might not be able to welcome each and every of them on the airport. PM Abiy is there. PM Abiy has upgraded his international profile after after his government signed the agreement, because he was facing criticism on international level due to the war in northern Ethiopia. But I think he has improved his credentials by signing the agreement in South Africa. And he has been avoiding to attend international conferences. He avoided some meetings as well in the past with some UN, US officials. But now I think he is in a position to lead the country at international level. He did not attend a UN General Assembly session, heads of state session held a few weeks ago, where Damake was sent. But here in Egypt, he is there himself. He'll attend this conference on climate change. There could be direct meeting between PM Abiy and Abdul Fattah al-Sisi. Egypt and Ethiopia have been involved in some disputes, especially over Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Ethiopia has been accusing Egypt and Sudan of interfering, of fueling conflicts in Ethiopia. But dam has been completed partially, not completely. Around 90% completed, third filling completed. Despite threats from Egypt, Sudan, PM Abiy's government managed to complete the third filling the dam this year. Now, PM Abiy is in Egypt. We'll update you if there is direct meeting between CC and PM Abiy. Thirdly, we was withdrawal of Amhara forces from Raya and Wolkait. Two zones, Raya and Wolkait, are disputed between Tigray and Amhara. Both have their claims to these zones. Raya, southern Tigray; Wolkait, western Tigray. If you remember, before the start of this third round of fighting in August, Amhara forces, Amhara militias, they were told to leave Wolkait. Back then, Raya was under TDF control. From Wolkait, Amhara militias were expelled. They were told to leave Wolkait. Amhara Special Force, majority of Amhara Special Force members were withdrawn. They were told to leave Wolkait too. And back then, if you remember, we saw a reaction against that move. Why did it happen? Because talks were underway back then about the future of Wolkait. So before any decision about the status of Wolkait, PM Abiy's government ensured that ENDF remained the sole in charge in Wolkait, and other forces were largely withdrawn. We saw reaction as well. Some Fano factions tried to enter Wolkait, they were arrested, thousands put in prison. Reportedly, once again, it is going to happen. Future status of Raya and Wolkait is not mentioned in the peace agreement signed 4 days ago. Will Raya and Wolkait be part of Tigray or Amhara? It's not clear. Talks will be held. After disarmament of Tigray fighters, interim government will be set up, will be established in Tigray. Then talks will start about political issues like status of Raya Wolkait. And during the talks, decisions will be made. Before the start of talks, reportedly, Amhara forces, Amhara militias will be withdrawn, largely withdrawn from both zones, Raya and Wolkait. Not TDF, Tigray might be given some parts of Raya and Wolkait at the table. And for that to happen, Amhara forces, Amhara militias will be withdrawn. Reportedly, 2 days ago, after the signing of the peace agreement, it was being discussed that Amhara forces should be withdrawn from the two zones. But parties, especially Ethiopian government, it's waiting for disarmament to start. Once disarming of Tigray fighters starts, you'll see that Amhara forces will be told to leave Wolkait and Raya. And then talks will be held about future status of these two zones.